Young Catherine Coleman is a math prodigy from West Virginia. Nobody, not even herself, will be aware that this African-American woman will be a key player in the competition between the US and Russia for space exploration. Back in the days, computers used to be an occupation, and that is what Catherine Goebel and her co-workers, Dorothy Vaughan and Mary Jackson, work for. These ladies work at NASA, in the West Computer Group. Dorothy Vaughan has been acting as the supervisor of the section since the last supervisor became ill. However, she was only having the responsibilities but not the title or the associated pay, all because of her skin color. Mary Jackson, who wants to be an engineer, is excited to be assigned to the space capsule heat shield team to assist the male engineers. One day, Vivian Mitchell, Dorothy's boss, tells her the Space Task Group needs a computer who is good at analytical geometry. Dorothy assigns Miss Catherine as she believes that she is the perfect candidate. In the engineering department, Mary is encouraged by one of the engineers on the team to apply for one of the more senior engineering positions, after seeing her expertise.
With engineers, the mind should be an engineer. You can't be a computer the rest of your life.
However, it will be quite an impossible mission for a Negro woman to become an engineer. On the first day when Miss Catherine joined the Space Task Group, they mistaken her as a custodian. Her job was to check the calculation performed by Paul Stafford, the lead engineer. However, Paul, who doesn't believe her, has blacked out a lot of details and claimed that she lacks the clearance necessary to view them. Miss Catherine cannot perform the calculation without being aware of the concealed information. Paul believed his own analysis, according to which he essentially believed Catherine's position was unnecessary. Miss Catherine had to run a half-mile to the colored restroom in the West Computer Group whenever she needed to use the lavatory because there isn't one there. On the other hand, Mary does not have the necessary qualifications for the promotion, and cannot get those qualifications as the extension courses are not taught in any high school accessible to African Americans in Hampton, where she lives. Only because of the hue of their skin did these three women have all the chances against them. Catherine was able to solve the calculation and demonstrate that the Redstone rocket couldn't support orbital flight by holding the confidential information up to the light. Simply by doing so, Mr. Harrison chose to trust her abilities and grant her access to all the data necessary to determine Freedom 7 trajectory. With the first IBM mainframe computer just having been purchased at NASA, Dorothy tries to learn as much as she can on her own about its workings to make herself and the entire African American female computing section relevant in this changing time. Otherwise, they will be replaced by IBM, which can perform calculations way faster than humans. Dorothy Vaughan has been curious about IBM. She decided to go to the public library to find books about Fortran programming. However, the colored area does not have the book on Fortran programming, and she was expelled from the library for going where colored people are not supposed to. She had, however, sneakily taken a book on programming. She would sneak into the tech wing whenever she had a chance to study more about the IBM 7090 data processing system. She then continued to convey the information to her team, the West Computer Group.
Where is
Mr. Harrison questioned Miss Catherine why she is always missing. She told Mr. Harrison that she had to travel a very far distance to the colored washroom. Finally, she burst out of her emotion.
And I work like a dog, day and night, living off of coffee from a pot none of you want to touch!
Mr. Harrison then made the changes, no more colored or white restroom, claiming that they are all the same.
Here at NASA, we all pay the same color.
After the Freedom 7 has been successfully launched, their next mission is to calculate the trajectory and landing of Friendship 7, in which John Glenn will become the first American to orbit the Earth. To obtain an engineering degree, Mary petitions the court to allow her to enroll in Hampton High School, which does not admit colored students. She successfully convinced the judge to permit her to enroll exclusively in night classes, making her the first colored woman to attend. Miss Catherine was tasked to calculate the coordinate of landing of the Friendship 7 space capsule. Everyone, even John Glenn, the astronaut, is amazed because they are unable to find any errors in her reasoning or calculations. Dorothy has been reassigned to program the IBM after her ability has been discovered by the lead engineer. As anticipated, NASA was going to dissolve the computer group. All 30 of the ladies under her supervision are invited to join the employees of the data center. The go-no-go analysis, which had puzzled engineers for a very long time, was solved by Catherine using Euler's method, enabling the flight of Friendship 7. Before the launching of Friendship 7, Mr. Harrison told Catherine that she will also be replaced by IBM, thus she will no longer be needed and will be reassigned back to West Computer Group. A problem arises in the control room when the IBM computer's calculations for Glenn's flight don't match the previous days. John Glenn, the astronaut, requests Catherine check the landing coordination math by hand because he trusts her brain more than the IBM machine. Catherine runs the numbers and races back to the control room to hand the notebook to Mr. Harrison. The Friendship 7 space capsule successfully entered orbit. After several orbits around Earth, there's a problem with the fasteners for the heat shield. They had no choice other than to get him back to the Earth immediately. Fortunately, Glenn was able to get back to Earth safely after completing 3 out of 7 scheduled orbits around the Earth.
Over. John, you think we can get to the moon?
We're already there, sir.
The IBM 7090 data processing system is capable of solving 24,000 multiplications per second.